Sera Jey Monastic Good morning, everyone. Who wants some candy? Do you want candy or chocolate? Oh, it's good for your throat. Which one want? I just sent through the computer. The evening, I have the prayer for the Tibetan kids, Tibetan families. The lot of kids, I just throw, they just open with it's technology. Maybe one day they can make something to just through the computer and go to the other side. Maybe it's possible. The technologies go very developed for every day. Maybe one day, I just throw the candy from here, then you guys got that. And also you can do that. This is like exactly for teaching for Tantra. They give a session, now you are visualizing, you think you are like that, you got like this balance, you think you are in the mandala, you can walk around from east, then go to west, then go to north, and go south, like that. Everyone got one candies. You think your visualization, you all got with candies. The candies go to my mouth. Anyway, yeah. If you missed yesterday, 2 days that His Holiness teaching, you can go back to the online. The teaching is still there. It's wonderful. It's wonderful to see him. Day before the first day, His Holiness website also stuck because a lot of people sometimes they go there, then it doesn't work. Especially the Tibetan section, we couldn't open. The best way to go to the Facebook, then easy to that. Like that, anyway, good morning, everyone. Have you guys had breakfast? Who don't have breakfast? Raise your hand. Oh, many people don't have. I already have breakfast like 7:30. Yeah. Who had coffee? I'm sure everyone has. Who has tea? I have some other idea. You can, in the morning, you can get up before you eat. I think 40 minutes before, you can drink the water, like 1 cup like this, every day. It's very good. It's a little bit warm water. Before you eat, 40 minutes before, every day. This is very good for some Japanese science that check. That's very good. When the Tibetan doctors, they always drink hot water. I think the Westerns drink the cold water, then put the ice. Then also, I don't know. I like to share some, They say, the Western people are very easy to sick. Are you guys sick? Very easy to sick? I think it's true, right? Now you go to very poor place, like India, Nepal, there's some part of China, like Tibetan. Exactly, you go to the countryside, the homeless people, like Buddha Gaya. Have you been Buddha Gaya, right? Some people. very poor people, but they're very strong. They're not sick. Do you know what the secret? We got very easy sick because we need to lot so many.
Bacteria.
Lot of bacteria. Because the bacteria, the friend with our body, then we don't sick. Then we got some new bacteria, then we got sick. Now they're looking for a vaccine, but they got a vaccine for coronavirus. Because they put the bacteria in our body, then as we make for good friend with the COVID-19. Like they say, because for us, like Western people, it's very easy to sick because we don't have enough to the bacteria. Because a lot of bacteria also come from the food. What we do, and even include the water, we put them in you can say poison anyway.
So we have planted medicine, in all the food, to kill those bacteria, right?
Right.
And so like that also we put a medicine in the water, to kill the bacteria, thinking that it will harm our body. And so, because we don't have those bacteria that we need in our body, and when we get a new bacteria, then we get sick. Just like that in India, when we go to places like in India, where our system is not used to those food, the food has some kind of bacteria, and the people there are used to that bacteria. The body is friend with those bacteria, so it doesn't harm them. But for us, it is new when we go there, and we are not used to those bacteria. So therefore, when we eat those food with those bacteria in them, then it hurts our body.
What do you guys think that? It looks to make sense, right? This is like the science, one of the Japanese science, they talk about that.
I agree. I think it's good.
Yeah, I think this is, for like that anyway. Therefore, we, we go to the India, the baby born, what happened? It's not like same here. They just born, the most, I'm still the countryside, Belkob is very country, it's a very poor place. The baby just born at home. Then they don't have the very special cloth for them. The 2 days, then, they just, in India also very warm, it's not too cold. They put the babies on the, floor.
Concrete floor.
Concrete floor. They just, when they got food, they give food, and the mothers, most they feed them from mother. Then they just concrete floor. They just put like that. They just kill like that. Then, even you can see that here, they're also a little bit flat. I don't know if it's true or not. Because when the baby, they just leave that. They just walking around. But they really use for the, like the conquer, flood, very dirty place. Then they eat things, they just walk around. They're very healthy. They don't get any sick from like that. Like for us, we stay maybe on the conquer, maybe half hour, we got sick. Without cushion, right? Like that, I think that when you grow up the baby's time to a little bit poor,
So, so the less facilities, less comfort and facilities there are, the stronger the body becomes when they grow.
제가 간조 단에 다 장소하고 메다 단대변 단대가 로충한테 따와 있나 마체다 등진 좀 보인다. 근데 나초초 아니 차초초 강에 돈에 치마도 못 벌기도 와.
And not sure about you, but the young ones nowadays, because they have so many facilities, to protect them. And now, when they grow up, then they become more vulnerable. They are very easy to get sick, very easy to break down, and so it's even harder when they grow on bigger.
나도 배랑 나도 dropa도 아니 보고 주주 아마도 예사대 가원이래. 나도 rather look rimasejo. 대 예상을 look 대가 안 돼 그래. 가르나 보고 찜바다 나 고찜바 얼마 쓰더라. 그나마 톱도 그래. 아니 저다 대고로 깜보에 정보 쉬워야 돼.
리마스도 좁아들어.
이거 너도죠. 소화가 해야 되네.
They should say in nomad, in nomads, the mothers, they just sleep with the baby on like the, what do you call that? The goats drops or dung, cow dung, like the cow dung, the goats.
The how you call the circle ones?
Drops.
When they dry, it's very warm. The mothers
sleep on that. It's very comfortable.
You sleep on that because baby pew, they go into that. They just suck in that. Then it doesn't make anything. It doesn't make also smell. It's really true. This is really, I'm grown up like that way. It's very comfortable. Have you guys do like that? Possible? No, I'm dry. And the cook share the cutting, and the cook share the recon static shigro. Almost.
And then what do we use, to wipe, the baby's, bum, is a grass. There's no toilet paper. They use the grass, from the hills. They just cut a bunch of grass and then wipe with that.
And the machete is all toba down door, and do the heat of cook in Russia. Some can't get done. I'm told the
And the grown-up people, they will just wipe it with any piece of stone or stick they find.
Sorry to talk about that. The Tindig Midlaya, Co Semlaya, Karakangi, Soada, Tanaji, Subotu, Manai Mayor.
And so that kind of people have less, they're more less vulnerable, they get less sick and they're more healthy.
When I power and the road to Tanger, Co Tanda Tant and Rodriguez Co. Lumbacora man, Nani, Vendi, Mother Pai Dore. And then member in the Lumba de Yomar, Mitsan Pache, Nabja to Jayot. Lumbacora member in the Yomar, that very hard.
His father is about 78 years old and he's very healthy. Never used toilet paper.
Don't use toilet paper.
And in his village, there are about 500 families, but there's no doctor at all, no hospital, no doctor at all.
제가 아니 옛날야 나도 lumba를 참바들에 포고를 했어. 내가 저기도 제 다자 변나 가도 다 차슈 나사당 제네 나사당 변나 가로 다치 클로스트로인데 제 나사 고마 지나 가도 하고 매니라고 왔어. 집에서 고마뉴스.
Yeah, Geshe said they do get cold sometimes, the cold and coughing and sneezing like that, but never had any kind of serious disease like diabetes, high blood pressure, or cholesterol, or tuberculosis. Never heard of that. Maybe they had it, but nobody knows about it. But never had any bad experience about those things.
얘나 먹고 테리도 집바로 되거든. 가제 로든주 야추 곱주고 되거든요. 집바로 이런 것도.
Most of the people, the lifespan is very like an average 70, 80, 90 years old.
제가 다 디상 나도 파이라도 아니 차슈 나사다 제네 나사세다 아니 다 가지 캔서 나가서야 돼. 트리브나서 마모 나기도 왔어. 빼먹어도 있어.
So that was before, a long time ago. But nowadays you find those other diseases like the high blood pressure or diabetes and even like cancer diseases.
제가 등송군에 파지 지치나 칼라는 거 다 대상 가르나 칼라 망보지 저 야나게 야 키용치 아니 간저 다 로파서 코 대 싸와인자 아니 대 빠지랑서는 간지 엑사치네 대 마사지 파지 된데 연구해서래.
And so I think these diseases are coming from the food now, because before they all eat organic, grow the food that they grow in their field, but now they buy food, like the China, this packed, frozen food to these villages, and people, they think, oh, this is so easy and delicious, and they get more excited about those food, and they eat those food, and then from there they get all these diseases.
제가 다 단대기 대립도 집바로 왔어. 다 건조 가르나 아니 칼라 디나라지 간지 매모 잡샤야자 아니 대진에 파지가도 믹스버로 띠노요사리.
So same here, all this food have some kind of medications, right? Medicated, to preserve them. So I think those medications or chemicals, whatever they use, to preserve the food, is causing harm to our body.
제장 안 두고 수보대 낮춰주려고도 와시다네. 남주가대 가도 낮춰주라고 되어 왔어.
Our body becomes very fragile, very easy to get sick.
제장 안 두고 수보 강이시라 뇨매와도 파지 되게 잘했어. 나도 산다 나도 깔리쇼 뇨에 산다. 샴바다 나도 깔리쇼 뇨 말해.
So because we have not faced any difficulties, physical difficulties, and therefore it's very easy for our body, our physical body, to become sick. We think we're going through so much physical difficulties, but compared to other ones and other people in the third world countries, our physical difficulty is nothing.
제자 어제 안 갔어요. 제자 다 나중에 그냥 안주 시간에 샴바다 나도 샘나 다 추주거나 강의처럼 태워 말아 왔어. 망치로.
And then so from the since very young age, right? Since we were born here in this country, people don't face much physical difficulties here.
그다음에 야라고도 나는 소소로종 야포에 아니 소소 나면으로 자 간제다 간제 나이 삼바 소 참말라 나이 삼여서 숙제무시.
And then also, of course, you grow up, with the good facilities, good education, and everybody, is standing on their own feet and doing some kind of job and earning their own money. So they all have this, we all have this proud feeling that, oh, I'm so and so, like that. And then also same, with the mental difficulties. Any difficulties that we face, in our mind, it's very difficult for us to bear with that. Like that? Do you think?
제자 안에 다 소소하게 배나 냠뇽다 아니 소와대 냠마니 채워시고 레거서데.
Yeah, so there's a big difference in whether you have had those experience, and feelings or not.
배나 나도 파파요. 파파 녀석들 배 사자 초로 와서 그 찜도 고친 그 찜도 고친 얘기 됐어.
So like the pigs, what called pig stall, where the pig sleeps, it's very dirty, right? It's very stinky and dirty, but pig is very comfortable. Sleeping goes into a very deep and comfortable sleep.
Right? 다 간도 오늘은 덴투보다 하셔서 덴투보다 가서지. 아니 가라 깜발에 되니 차오치나 차오 처음에 따다다 다 고다니 막고라 파라 저알아 아니 담가나 아니 미니크 매사고 정도 왔어.
Whereas we have all these comfortable, mattresses, like 12, to 18-inch thick, comfortable mattresses. Yet still, we don't find, we find very difficult to fall asleep, right? We turn here, turn there, and then, case, we have to take even sleeping pills, to fall asleep.
지금 잠송하러 소소소가 변한 알아서 소소 간이 가르쳐 때 대소 채우다. 대소 채우다.
I'm just reminding you, how you are, what you do usually.
It's true, right? 제 장가 안에 변한 나도 누마다 자사 돼 버려 왔어. 안다 마키리도 담주죠 마키리도 하고라. 마키리도요. 마키리도도 마고 대짜제나 룩티가 얘기로 다 보셔요.
So like in Geshe, in the monastery, they used the cone, the cone skin, the skin or the cover from the cone. You take that and put it into a like make it like a mattress with that, and then sleep on that.
말다 디자로 빠빠도 말다.
아니?
나로지요. 작보죠.
Oh,
나도
what is that? Like the bone?
본도 말이야.
What do you call that?
나도
Husk.
마켓 사셔요. 하스 말이야.
Corn husk.
Not the husk.
No husk.
The hard part inside.
Cob.
Oh, kernels.
Kernels. Yeah, the
Oh,
kernel.
cob.
Well, I see.
Cob?
Cob.
가능 나도 마켓 사셔요. 지진이 사 직수세. 다때 마켓 반 자삭 지요. 대양 코탄다 빠빠셔요.
The cob, you can also peel that, You can peel the cobs also, and then, with that, they make into a mattress.
제가 대륙사다 짜제나로 그래. 짜제. 나도 짜래요. 대나로 안 대난 얘기를 했어.
And that's just like like a sheet, made of a grass, and then put inside there, and then, sleep on that.
제가 작보셔요래.
It's very hard.
안 더 나중에 게 아니 예티나라야 대시 가데 대시 빼면 봐.
And then there are also these, the bed bugs, full of bed bugs.
얘나 니치오 쇼코를 가가세요.
But very comfortable sleep.
제가 나도 담보 당가 배는 갈리베까 고치도 와로. 다때서 오세메 가래도. 다 띵을 다 대리 좋아해서도.
So when Gelong came, it was in the 90s, it was a little bit better. And before that, it was even worse.
얘나야 대가를 가드나 배. 제가 니한테 된대가 잡아들 요다고. 허허 니 집어 그거 다 단답에 덴트 저어 요래 거야 망보 요래 다 살로 털로 다든 잠좀 니 먹고 지내네. 나도 저도 왔어. 저도 좋아. 나도 참아들래도.
There was physical difficulties and less mental worries. So I was sleeping very well, very easily fall asleep and sleep very well. Now, here we have all these comfortable cushions and comfortable mattresses and good, clothes, blankets and quilts and all these things. And also the AC and heat, to turn it on, but still couldn't fall asleep. And then you just lie, looking at the ceiling for a long time.
잠잠 나도 부여다 비 나와까지 마트나 잡아가 부여게 되래 나도 돈을 장모요 왔죠. 저기다 제 제녀. 잡아 고 잡아대고 잡아찬로 아니 고 장모쇼에 너 돈한테 그건 얘 되게.
So the quilts, they get dirty, and the dirt, piles up so thick that it becomes hard in the winter, because of the cold. It becomes hard, and when you touch, when you touch the quilt, touch your face, you can feel the coldness, coming from that dirt. That's how much it has, become dirty.
이나이나 그 샘을 소화다 아니 남토다 개개 요 말에.
But never had that bad, the awful feeling, of dirt like that, they just sleep very comfortable.
제가 간데 미세데 고 나라서 미세 나도 배울다 몇대 개발을 했어. 미기 조금 말에 둑쪽으로 세지었어. 개발나 가서 다 개발 레벨을 했어. 아니 강이 쪽으로 했어. 기부 조금 말해서 나였어.
So there's a saying in Tibet, that people have a flat back. They say that flat back can bear the suffering, but cannot bear the happiness.
제가 나도 그냥 나도 다 딕칭 타는데 대차가면 대차 같은 나도 가든다 참에나 아니 두사 둔조로 심바도 나도 잡고 잡나로 차대로 가리나.
So it can take or can carry the suffering, but cannot carry the happiness. And so always, have this, good and bad, right? Always, so of course it depends, what is good and what is bad. And we always compare with that.
제가 룸바들라 땅도 홈레스 다 가지 단대깔로 강에다 마모도 이나야 중국의 저거 요리 아니 초바소고 칼라 저거 강가치기도 왔어.
So in this country, even the homeless, there are so many people that are homeless, but still, they have been provided places, and they have the places where they can go and get food, and all this provided by the government, right?
제가 자아로는 다 차도 자아 두지된 존요 같아. 자아 방고 강가 내려서 서산도 왔어. 빼먹어도.
And but in India, there are so many poor, homeless beggars. If you've been to Bodh Gaya, you will see there's so many beggars there that you feel like the whole all the beggars of the whole world is there. So many.
Yeah, Margaret went there, Bob went there, Jennifer went there, Marco went there. Yeah. That what you guys saw, right? 제가 드네도 그래. 간단하네. 두사 tunjuk chene ene nganzo te tende also ya Mac also that. And the tusa tunjuk chene ene nganzo ngone tega de kangi chimokhe mare.
And so when we compare with that, the what we have is nothing, not that much difficulties.
ane 되게 간단해 딱 먼저 산쇼 코너핀에 ene serke tolli so든 것도 되나 nganzo 그냥 방고 panjar keyo marwas.
But like if you compare with the people who are very rich, like you heard about people who have a gold toilet, gold, the sink in the toilet made of gold. So compared to that, maybe what we have is nothing again.
The serke toilet nganzo tandandi ene karse. Nganzo karo tanganzo de karo.
자막이다.
자마다 아니 자가에는 좁아도 출로런로 시간이 또 왔더니 아니 디 그게 최대가 꼽죽진로 다 돼서 채워야 집에 오래 가가래서 당연히 저 가가요.
So what's the difference, using a golden toilet or the ceramic toilet? Like in India, they don't even have a toilet. They just go in the field and then just do their business there, and then take a bowl of like a pot of water, and then use that water to wash their bum, and that's all. So what's the difference? Is there a difference in a feeling when you poop on a gold toilet or a ceramic toilet? Or you pass a bit easier, better?
제단군에 전에던데 세르게 차파는 데 당연히 요나 되게 샘티 마요스 세나 마요레 샘티 마요레 대 손죽 제약에 코 잘라 먹고 그게 강해요.
But of course, there's more mental stress, right? If you have a gold toilet, you worry, you'll be more miser about it, instead of thinking that you might break it or ruin it, and then you might have to also maybe hire a bodyguard, to protect that, right? Security system, all these things. More mental stress.
텔레코 신간의 제자는 고유라 팽그레스 그 도바데 고유가 찌들 리차로 그러와 근데 소설을 셈나 강해매
So the best is to do in the field, It can also help the field, right? Because it turns into a manure, and that becomes the manure and can help the field, and then you have no worries in your mind.
Sorry, talk about that. Something good, we have to talk like that kind, Not just series, meditation, practice. 제가 나도 배역이야 아니 맨날 semjega 깜바다 semjega 찜바다 semjega 좁바데 아니 배역가 아니 가로 생각이 찌리 차고서 너 그래.
So yeah, in Tibet, like they use all these manures, they use the manure is all made of the cow dungs, the pipis and the kakas of the animals there, so they use that. And then human beings too.
제가 되게야 중고 간갈라 짜야가 있게 메토야가 있게 그랬나 다 단대감도 쳐서 공바접 깜박 한국마고 공바전으로나 깜박코는 깔아 차로 그래서 메통다 아무라.
And that also helps, the environment, for the environment, to like have better plants and better grasses, like the whole hill, becomes so clean and flower. So you can now, if you were to walk there this time of the year, there's so much, flowers, and if you, walk on barefoot on the hills, you will have get all these colors on your foot from the flowers there.
나도 제다 도시요, 제다 도시 드수 나 리자 나도 미기 쏘바도 리자거든. 제가 그에 시바도 미기 쏘바케요. 대안에 시간도 또 리테자거든.
So the rice and the flowers that we eat, come from those manure, from the manure and from the pipi and kaka of the people.
I'm saying, yeah. 제가 나도 별 들이진다. 너 하고 말이야. 너라 다 케미컬 지jel로 셔. 다 되고 케미컬 많이 받고 내처럴한 거 리차게로.
So that's how it is in Tibet, and in many part of those countries, country places, right? But here, you go and buy manure, from the store, and then you put it there. and there's have all these chemicals mixed in there, right?
제자 간도 그 말리루가 코너 캠코인자 될 께께 코너 코 내가 니바 추주차 아니 대사원안에 수보를 넣어야 되고 뭐도.
So because the manures that are used has a mix of chemicals, and also the food that grows from there have these chemicals mixed in them, and then that's why it has less protein and and then more diseases and so forth when we eat it.
Okay, sorry, talk about that bad things. Okay. 어떤 시단 로다 텐데 봐. 제자 땅가도 직된 디콜라 직 기도 양이 가이바 3만 원도 때 신나야 보도.
Yeah, so that's how it is, right? In the real life. So it is good to know those things. What are the good, what are the bads?
제가 가도 가리나 가서 뭐나 컴플레인 짜잖아. 컴플레인 짜자 제마다 같이. 삼도 소소 강요와테 rejoice 제와이나 수주 심발 흘러 팽그래.
So most of the time we're just complaining, right? So instead of complaining, sometimes we think about these good things that we have compared to the other places, and then rejoice in what we have, and be content with what we have.
다 나신 게 아니 삼도 소소 촉제고도 샘플이 짜자 제마다 같이 간제.
Yeah, the contentment, is very important. Not like worrying all the time, but being content with what we have.
Okay. This is the best teaching, okay? How do you... Okay, 되지. 다 안에 가상하면서 다 안에 다 상주고 셈 공고를 해서 뭐 해야 되겠와?
And so going back to our text, about the bodhicitta, how to generate bodhicitta, right?
제가 다 가상하면서 니마 마음보지라야 안에 땅님 고민 맞죠? 땅님 여보 고민 배.
And so for many days, we've been practicing how to meditate on equanimity, right? Have you been practicing more on equanimity?
제가 땅님 때서 어떻게 잡는 때서 고마. 이제 이름보 고마래. 니 말에 까마 가시에 채워지고 변나. 테마 가시 곰다로와.
So try to persuade yourself, to meditate on equanimity. Okay, so that's really good. You don't have to spend very long time. You can just maybe spend a couple of minutes a day to meditate on equanimity.
A couple of minutes, like many times, when you have time. Although we try to stay a very long time, then we fall asleep, then we forgot things also. Therefore, the meditation, the one method say short many times. And also the text, even the text say it's text maybe years, of course. 제가 tin딩한도 단단한데 단단한도 참지라 단대를 탱문에 가도 삼고래서 나가도 하고는 가도 내세제매하자 가도 참 초래 도무도.
Yeah, so through studying, through reading, we can understand that's how it is, but we don't really know that how it is, And because of not having meditated or practiced, therefore we are not able to gain the realization or ascertainment of that.
다 따님 검색해 줘야 돼. 다 당가도 되나 따님만 좀 잡기다.
Now, let's say we have gone through the equanimity. Now we're going to go to the next stage.
Next, the patient and 니마 줍든 받으래. 샤스 니나 줍든 받는 마음 고통 도스.
And so if you have the text, then that's in the 17th day. So it says actual stages in training for bodhicitta. It's the outline 335. If you have a text, it's the outline 335.
제가 이거는 아니 자세히 뭐 시와래 강라 샘지 담바른 챈다 제가 뒤에 걸어 상타로 강라 내가 시장 된제와 데미준에들 상타로 강아들 안에 강사 뒤에 jelaya 아니 대화진 중국어나 대화근 존에 쪼대 아니 샹첩 셈레스 내가 샹첩 셈 곰고래 샹첩 셈 띄어체고래 스텔레서와.
So if you want to have happiness, then the source or the origin or the source of the happiness is bodhicitta, altruistic attitude. So you should generate the bodhicitta.
제가 샹접의 샘디 셈바이나 아니 추가니 제와이나 아니 추드 세다 담바 니바 쳔보 아니 제는 뭐지 연구해서 샹접의 셈바 마즈바이나 다 가르미가 칼레 자와나까지 태워치무 추도고 해서 말와.
So in whatever you do, whatever practice or actions you engage in, if you do with if that action is conjoined with the bodhicitta, then it becomes very powerful, very strong, and become a cause, to achieve in a state of full enlightenment. If it is not, then no matter how high level of practice you are doing, if it is not conjoined with bodhicitta, then it doesn't become a cause to achieve state of full enlightenment at all.
제가 배제도 손에 배나는 라곰 마답 근데 제와인다나요. 아니 장점 셈매와이나 딱 가진 소수고 무슨 똥도 된다 말이야. 배제도 나도.
So even if you do all this high level practice of the tantra, where you visualize yourself or generate yourself the deity, and you recite these mantras and so forth, but if it is not conjoined with bodhicitta, then it doesn't become a cause to achieve enlightenment, and it's it becomes like a waste. All those high practices become like a waste.
Are we waste all time? 어제 대다 시단도 주고 단대 고 두사도 주고 와 아니 시단 팽이 말라고도 말이야 야나다 지금 곰시바지는 팽이 말라고 말이야 두사도 주고 전에 마페 말로 자르고 그랬어.
So it's not saying that it doesn't help at all. Of course there's a benefit, benefit of reciting. It's just reciting mantra itself has a benefit, but when you compare with that, then it doesn't have that much benefit. But otherwise, of course there's a benefit. Let's when you talk about just benefits.
Okay, 대신에다 담보 드리게 배나 아니 상적을 셈지와라 아니 간제 땅념대 공고를 해서 배 땅념들 앞에 다 님마 뭐 보고 검들이 제고에서 와.
And so in order to generate bodhicitta, the first first of all we have to equalize all sentient beings towards all sentient beings, right? So that is very important. Like I mentioned, that's the ground, the foundation on which you generate bodhicitta. So therefore, even if it takes very long time, like many days or months or years, you should strive on, meditating on equanimity till you gain realization of that.
대체 다들 땅념지 공성화나 다 나라서 배는 다 배배 남백이 시다 채와이나 아니 소소라 딱까지 최소대 아니 세디가 아마드레스 나도라 그레스.
So then once you have seen all these beings equal to you, then the next stage is to see them as your mother, because the most kind, the person who is most kind to us is our mother, and so then we should try to see all sentient beings as our mother.
제가 지나서 아마 제뇨 등에요네 들 냠뇨요 아마 제뇨매나 안에 다른 냠뇨샤요 말했어.
So if you have been a mother, then you have more experience of being a mother, right? If you have not been a mother, then you don't have that much experience.
제가 그러나 아마 제뇨나 아마 모랑기 고네 다 뿌글라 제와 가시지요. 뿌기 치는 선모 가세 땅게요. 아니 되게 손으로 깨그래.
So if you have been a mother, then you will know how much affection you have towards your child, and through that you will understand how much your mother has been kind to you.
제가 두시는 땅가도 남백에 아니 배회가 남백에 나춘에시나 아니 다 아니 펜도 최초대 아마레스 드리자 아니 다 semje 나도 깨와라 토마메나 다 간제 나제 제거지 아니 아마고 드레다 아마데까지 침보이비 된대기 소소절에 용화지 깨타와 semje 참말랑에 아마 제뇨여사래 된대다 제뇨와도 아마 제비깔까지 채와 나지가 다 마칭이 다데까지 아마메나 아니 간제 아마 제비깔까지 침보자 까지 침보래 삼비가 삼터지 깨타와이나 아니 나도 절에 샤주선 제야기 다야 타니타래 거래.
So, because all sentient being has been our mother, there's no beginning to the life, right? So when the life started from, we don't know, So there's a life before this, and then there's a life before that. Before that, when you go, try to go back that way, it never, reaches to the beginning. So therefore, it's called beginningless lifetime. And since we had a beginningless lifetime, so if we were in those lives, if we were born from the womb, then we definitely had a mother. Right, and so there are some cases, some birth, where you are born miraculously and so forth, but mostly, where you're born from womb, you have a mother. So therefore, we have had all sentient beings become our mother. So we have been born from the womb of all sentient beings. So therefore, in one of those lives, in the past, and so therefore, therefore, all sentient being has been our mother, and so they've been our mother, just like the mother of this life. So therefore, it is valid to think of them all as the mother of this life.
제가 당가도 파마까지 침몰한 가도 대화를 해라 그래서 개발라 토마토 대화 요 말에서 가도 랍랍 그래 간에 랍 그래와.
Yeah, so so then so because they have been the old Sinjin has been our mothers, so that we see, right? We believe that, and then also we believe that there's no beginning, to the life.
그냥 내 라바데 신이도 내 신이데 신. 네 신들 토마 열어서 저도 들어가 렌 가졌을 때. 신이게 제질라다 제질라다 다 질러서 그러.
So that wood that Geshe is holding in his hand. So the substance of that wood, does it have a beginning?
What do you think? 저도 그냥 내시다 내시는 얘기도 나도 내시 나도 열 아파지 요 말은 가서 저다 샘라야 다 때문에 딱 가지 내시 소화제고 넣었어.
So you have to understand why, how there's no beginning. We can just say no beginning, but then you really have to understand how there's no beginning.
단내고 죽으러 와서 죽인자 거대 한 거를 죽.
So this is a physical thing, right? The stick is a physical thing.
제가 나도 주지 마디고 죽으러 왔어.
Is a form that is not included within our continuum, right?
배차잖아. 단 내가는 신식산 연주 신이라고 봤어. 다티 신이 가와래 신이가 고 가로 사번절. 이 사번도 가와를 파 되나? 맞어. 내는 곳에 와서 나도 깔리 가오셔라래.
So this wood, a piece of wood came from a tree, right? Like a tree. And then where did that tree come from? The tree seed. And then where did seed come from? Then from that tree, from another tree. And then that tree, like when you go back like that, it's really difficult to trace, all the way to the beginning.
왜 당어도 검자야 돼. 다검 가리잖아. 되리지나도 샘도 검자셔. 샘. 되리게 샘도 가와는 랩샤스. 나도 검자다. 되리게 샘데 가장게 샘 그렇게 담아. 가장한테 되리게 담아 파파파. 근데 저도 삼도 잘라 되니까 채도 거리 출로라 백그라운드에서 두치는 채쇼 왔다.
So now we're going to do like a treasure hunt, okay? Meditation, treasure hunt meditation, just like you do a treasure hunt in your backyard or wherever you. So your mind, so about your mind. Now today we're going to meditate on your mind, about how the mind, of today came from yesterday, and then how it came from, yesterday's mind came from day before yesterday, and then this year's mind came from last year, and so forth. So like that, so see how much back you can go.
도대체 이 바라라 간지 내가 이 바라 받체여 와이나 안에 가도 어떻게와 내는 것을 납치하러 왔다. 내니 바라 받치는 체체만 찔레 나가도 건 얘기만 되다 두시네 다다 뭐 소수가 단다 수수가 다샘 곰자죠. 당어도 곰자이다. 대가만 줘서 곰자죠. 제가 그때 애널리티크 말이 되진다.
And so if those two things, the mind of today and mind of yesterday, if there's a big gap in between, then there's no continuation. Then you can say, okay, today's mind started from there because there's a gap, right? But if there's no gap and it came right from yesterday and then yesterday came right from the day before yesterday, there's no gap. So that way you can go back, go back and back, and then see how long you can go, and find. So meditate on that, try to not just saying, yeah, there's no beginning of mind, but really try to gain the ascertainment or realization of that. So yes, there's no beginning of the mind. So to gain that, so we're going to meditate on that to understand that, right? So just do an analytical meditation on that, for about 5 to 10 minutes, and then try to find that.
그런 테리베가 잘라도 봐도 이제 추리야 놓고 나다 그것도 있어. 대나진 가도 샘부 채고다. 샘기.
So like the scientists, they analyze, the object, by putting it there, putting it here, measuring it, or and weighing it, and all these things. So whatever so just like that, we used to, we have to use our mind, to analyze about the object.
제가 다들 소소 날 소소 주보에다 자로라 디스트로칭이 지워요 말. 당한도 네 깨지는 것만 자긴다.
And so since you're by yourself at home and nobody to disturb you, we'll use this opportunity, to spend a little more time on meditation.
Okay. Oh yeah. So Sam go Thomas yes way.
Were you able to find the beginning of your mind?
계산기 저랑 Sam the 드리기 바람 제가 돼.
Is there a connection between yesterday's mind and today's mind?
Yes. Oh yeah. And 대장도 내가 얘기 들었어. 때때 이 바하고도 자세 자.
Do you really understand that? Do you really understand that 100%? That there is a connection between yesterday's mind and today's mind?
어때 용 고그랜다 삼고도 주도.
Or do you just think, yes, it is, that's maybe that's how it is?
제가 떠난 것도 헛칼라야 단다 땅가서 변다 로 숨지나 단대 저런 게 샘되게 정함아데 저랑 그 아마서는 막 깨마 그다 보이나 보면이 샘되게 린다 셔마르라나 가서 헛칼라 가서 가로 샘 가로다 라트가 말아왔어.
So, if we are told that today's mind, like whatever age you are, in 30, 40, 50 years old, today's mind, is the subsequent mind, of the mind, or like, the continuation of the mind, of the child, the infant that was just born. The infant that was just born. So if you say that's the continuation of that mind, it would be like difficult to understand that right away, right?
저도 아마 티네지 제녀로 왔어. 티네지 제녀에.
So have you all been teenagers?
저도 티네지 녀로 싸워야 되는데 티네지 야보니 봐.
Were you good teenagers or bad teenagers? Not a trouble teenager or not causing trouble teenagers?
lumba dina 지금 lokso지도 티네지 사이에서 하는 보이데 고 야치 쇼와 lok초 왔어. 쓰기도 왔어.
So in this country, like there's like a belief, right, that when you as a teenager, then they will all like mess up all the things. Like when you are a teenager, you will mess up all the things. You turn everything upside down.
저도 티네지 야포데비 다시 잡아야 돼. 제가 단대 지나서 그 샘기 다 린자 남마데 제마체네 소상나마 티네지 뭐갑게 샘데 엘라나 저도 샘 켈렌도 돼.
And so if you are told that this mind, is the continuation, of that mind, of the teenagers, your good teenager time.
제단에 두시네 곰잡 두시 삼로 진대 삼로 고 파파파 내바니네 다 수수게 빼나 아니 시바들 토마 매버지 들어봐야나 아니 그러고 다 이게 시바 너는 고투 삼지 너는 고투 쭉 삼베 삼바지 많이 와야나 아니 다 고발로 토미 타 매봐서 들어봐야지 타 매봐 또 와라 하고 와라서 고들라고도 앞에잖아.
So like that, if you, when you have investigated like that, and then you see that there's no beginning, and there's no beginning to your mind, when you understand that there's no beginning to your mind, then that time you have established the realization of understanding there's no beginning to samsara. And so if you think that, oh, my mind has started from this point, if you have that thought thinking that my mind has started from this point, then you have not found that realization.
근데 가야 많이 봤지 딱고 파파파 단다 코도 라도 팀 테리바같이 잘라지 파 대체잖아 파파파파다 다 대파 얘기면도 아무 녀마서라고도 왔어. 근데지 파 좋아이나 아니 지난게 코발라 토미타 매바 드바레스 또 바레스 하코바레스라고도 와.
So but rather instead if you are not able to find the beginning, you keep going and going and you couldn't find it all. Just like the scientists, they investigate on something and then they try to look for that and then they break it down and they couldn't find it, no matter how much they break it down. Like that, if you are not able to find the beginning of your mind, then you have understood, the beginning lesson of the cycle existence.
단 대주라와 죽대 코드도 쳐봐라. 더 타마타마야 중요하죠. 단 내가 초쇼 다 초쇼도 갈라나 다 저도 세지로 왔어. 들나네.
So like, this stick, is made of, atoms, right? So, you break it down and break it down, to many, to the smallest, the atom, and then you can still go down, right? So, until you have to use the telescope, microscopes, to look, at those things. So, you kind of break down, right? You can keep on breaking down, but you still cannot find it, like that.
Who's the science? Bob, the Chushu Kares.
What's the smallest, particle of the stick?
I think every once in a while they find a smaller particle. They start with small atoms and then they go to the parts of the atom, and then I think there's even smaller particles than that. So I don't know, every 10, 20 years they come up with new discovery.
Yeah.
Smaller piece.
So they couldn't find the end of it, right?
Right.
제장아도 되네도 네 패션의 람도 패션이나 단다 랍샤지. 근데 지난기 고외 땅 고외라다 가지고 소속 샘 랍쇼로 되게 샘건 거 너네 짬 두고 나는 저랑 저기 말했어. 가와서는 딱 전에 많이 봐야나 안에 저랑 고발 도미 탐매바 잡아라 해 말했어. 패션이 도저도 도서.
코드디?
근데 꼽더라도. 근데 다 시바 파테와나 말아도 단디 거기 샘대 아니 마잉안에 집에 보고디 샘들에서 대 많이 그 집에 샘대 아니 개왕하면 아니 되는 맞다 마나는 고발라 토미 탐매바 샘진고 늦점하고 시바 강다가 문예 바나 랑게 개발라 토미 탐매바 잡라스
이거 완전 맛이 값을 왜?
그래 맛이 값들다 근데 년라 줍든 바디 네 되게 되는 쇼님이 잡을때도
니나 줍든 봐.
다 맛있어요.
먼저 가던 샤사데 맛을 받으라.
가서 가도 디가 딱 줍든 거 가도 니만 모셔야 돼. 방도 따님도 셔야 돼. 봐.
그래.
제가 다 드린 것도 마신 걸 마스투요. 그러. 마셔야 돼. 아니 쇼랑 줍드는 것도 년 주든 봐. What page number?
Do you find that?
What page number for the outline?
Yeah, it's day 17.
516.
Which
17? No, it's
The 521.
520. Yeah.
Which book, Tom Chap?
You said it was outline 335. Sorry.
줍든 봐라.
No, it's 337.
Yeah.
The day 17.
Day 17, page 522.
Which book?
Outline 337. This one.
It's blue book.
Blue
Which
book.
book? Which book, Tom, you have?
지금 뭐래? 내가 가가래.
Oh, you have the different.
다들 가가래죠. 닌 가서 닌세다. 닌 줍든 봐라. 어래셔.
자세 좀 담번 거기 자세 좀 셔발에 용시도 와.
네, 님 줍든 봐라. 자세 좀 보면 말아 가서 네.
셔발에. 갈라 샘지 담바를 친다. 저 뒤에 걸어셔다.
그런 철학이 되죠. 닌 줍든 봐라.
오바디 치료 때 띄워도 단데 띄워도. 개와 용서 렘발라 중고 온보 로탄데 바디 치료 때. 단데 뒤 바디 치료 로지도 와 띄워도.
네.
띄워도.
So there is this, right? So in the right after that, there is the verse from the commentary on value cognition by Dhammakirti, and then there is what needs to be proved here is the beginningless nature of our consciousness, right? Since today's mind is the continuation of yesterday's mind, and this turn in a continuation of that of the day before. This much is understandable. The mind just after birth is the continuation of the mind that lay within the mother's womb, and then the mind immediately after it has entered the womb, is the continuation of the mind immediately before entering the womb. As samsara goes back limitlessly in time, you cannot find anything that is the starting point for the mind. So this proves that your rebirths must also go back limitlessly in time.
Okay, that tells you to 어데 제가 내가 줄 거데 간제 내 셈된데는 고초도 삼나 저한테 하고요 말했어. 다 저는 고초도 저는 많이 하던데 세리비 차원은 저는 많이 해나 아니 저는 개왕한 말다 다 도매 탐해 받아 줘버렸어.
And so just like that here, so if you are able to trace back, so if you think that, oh yeah, my mind started from there, then you have not found the limitless time of the mind, or the beginningless of the mind. Just like the scientists are not able to find, like Bob said, so many years they come with different finding, and then still not able to find the exact. So like that, if you're not able to find, then you have understood, the beginningless of the mind or consciousness.
제가 셈이 jellar도 셈이 존이야. 셈 코라다 다다는 것도 무체복 셈들 봐. 그 되게 존.
So like we're talking about the stream of the mind, the stream or the continuation of the mind. The mind itself, now is the mind of a grown-up old man mind. So the continuation of this mind, it goes all the way back to beginningless time.
제가 다 빼잖아 되우 시작하지. 다 빼잖아 시간에 수수고 곰잡 삼로다 아니 제가 내 빼자가지는 똥반 열레지 다단 되게 똑깔 가요라고 그랬어.
And so if you think like that, then you think about it, and then so it's really difficult to understand. Understand where it came from, really. And so in some texts it says this is even more difficult to understand than emptiness.
Okay. 제가 저도 두시 곰잡에. 근데 저도 곰매매 단다 지나서지 샘티가 이런다 파파 되는 땅가도 파지 아마사 아맹가담 슈베 까바는 것도 파 대토 그랬어. 디바는 것도 파진 잠체 매워로 통고 그랬어.
So like for us, it's easy, not that difficult for us to trace our mind, right? To say, okay, today's mind came from yesterday, like that. We'll go back all the way, to the womb, right? Mother's womb, or all the way to our birth, and then even maybe inside the womb. But then after that, it's very difficult, to trace it back. Yeah. So we might like put a gap there and say, oh, it started from there.
제가 다 실로고 배나 잘안들에 노동들에 단된 테리피에 따지지 왔는데 되게 소리고 내 빼잖아요. 내가 나도 봐 따지지 거기서 봐.
And so just like the scientists will analyze about the external object by breaking it down, and just like that we should also analyze the mind where it came from.
제가 당가도 zugrapa pen 테리발라 zugrapa pen 내기 시가 죽반디 고 가원에 소선나 콘도 가디라 그랬다. 네 전고 가디 소선나.
So if we were to ask the scientists, the beginning of the stick, the steam, the continuation of this stick, where it started from, what would they say?
What do they say?
No beginning.
Really, they can say beginning, no beginning.
They usually say just the trees.
the tree the canal.
But where did that tree come from?
내 다다다라 내 가와는 내 땅 그마 시도지 마고 드는 줄 알다. 다때니 파대한 시도도 가와는 되나? 두 대고다. 대단 두서다야.
So of course you can say this came from the tree, but then where did that tree, which this stick came from, right? Where did that tree came from?
제가 나도 깨와 나마 그 두신 파텐도 보다. 두신 파.
So that's how you have to trace back. So just like that, then you trace back your mind from today's to yesterday, and then all the way to the kid, the infant, and then that infant in the womb, and then where did that come from? Did that start from there, or where did that come from? Like that.
If you can't remember where you came from, how do you know that your mind? If you can't remember your birth and all that, how do you know it's continuous mind? How can we prove it's continuous mind?
그래서
그런 게 다 교통만 하마거나 다 쌤들네 데가 거는 무슨 레슨 간에 하고 있어.
세상아도 깨와 문턴을 내줘 간데 토마 요 말은 그 두살 얘기 말했어. 내 이제 안에 그 전에 책이요 말했어. 전에 책에 매워는 거는 가도 내내 제 단대 값게 쌤데 앞에 많이 가다 맞춰봐라 전체 매워다. 근데 전체나 되는 미션으로 가지 된마 요 마트와 가도 주박 얘기도 왔어.
정말 교환가만을 용보다 가르쳐 하고 그랬어.
제가 다 립박 파텐으로 거든. 아직 될래야. 그 바로 최소화에는 용토고 매야 되는 것도 설명해봐 녀도 녀고도 왔어.
네.
제가 배는 가도 너 맞추라고 땅게 와나. 최대 빨아라고 삼박 지 까샤와나 최대만 요토 말고 까샤야 봐.
그거 안에다 샘기 콜라 키스 치든 가서 가르 하고 그랬어.
제대로 샘도 파파파파파파나 간지 샘래야 이지미지 되는 게 샘이 올라 산이 샘 네바도 고와든 것도 네바냐도 그래서.
계속이 샘.
개성 샘이 되는 게 샘도 요발라 개성 샘도 네바도 요거 모두 내신이 그래서.
So just like you find out, today's mind came from yesterday's mind. Is that easy to understand? Is that understand right? Yeah, so but how did that come from? Why the mind of today has to come from yesterday? Because the mind has to come from a mind, right? Mind cannot come from somewhere else. It has to come from mind. So it has to be the mind from yesterday. And then the mind from yesterday came from yesterday's mind. It cannot come from somewhere. It has to come from somewhere, something, and it can be only from the mind. Mind can only come from the mind. Yeah, so you have to have yesterday's mind in order to have today's mind. Without yesterday's mind, there cannot be today's mind. Is that understandable?
Right, but that's my mind. That's
awesome. Exactly. Yeah, your mind. Yeah, we're talking about one.
That's my mind. So I guess it's just if you can't. I understand how mind has to come from yesterday's mind. That's perfectly clear. But if you go back to birth, me, Austin Horn, I don't exist, really. It's like I don't exist.
So what is the reason that without yesterday's mind, there will be no today's mind? What is the reason?
Because yesterday's mind was present, and today's mind is present. I had thoughts yesterday that are making today what it is today. Do you see what I'm saying? Does that make sense? Because you have karma. It continues. Your mind continues because.
We don't want to talk about the karma, okay? This is not just talk about religion. This shetang dagaro, chuluk shetaji maris shetang.
So this is the reality, reality of the mind, not like based on a religion, but reality, of the mind we're talking about, right? So this is in reality, it has to make sense, it has to be reasonable. Otherwise, if you just based on a religion or belief, then then there's a different explanation of that, right? And then you go with that, whatever it is, then you just believe in that. That's the belief, right? But no, we're not believing. We're trying to investigate and find out what the reality of the mind is. Is there a beginning of the mind or not? If the mind, did the mind of today come from yesterday or not? That's what we're trying to find out. And so if you are told that today's mind is the continuation of the mind from yesterday, does that make sense?
Yes.
Are you able to understand that?
Yes.
Why is that? Why is today's mind continuation of yesterday's mind?
Because I'm alive. Because I'm here, and I was alive yesterday, and I'm alive today. And so my mind has continued.
Okay. 되지.
그러니까 그 되게 소부여랬어. 그 시바는 그 샘데 윤체도 그래. 그 시바는 샘데 윤체도 그래. 더 말하더라.
제가 아무나 제가 이번 제대로 조심해 와서 안에 저 되려고 이러면서.
되려고 걸어 되려고.
아니 되지 장 제대로 되려. 다 장 희나처럼 샘데 진짜로 그래.
So then what if you are not alive today, then your mind stops there?
No, I can still think of all the thoughts that I had yesterday and the day before and the day before and the day before. So I know that my mind has continued because I can remember from now.
So then what if you don't remember? Then that means it is not continued from your day yesterday or your day before yesterday? If you are not able to remember.
No, I can see that. Yeah, I can see what you're saying.
Yeah, 되게 간지 가도 푹채 도구도 했어.
Yeah.
So that doesn't prove it, right? Does it? Just because you remember what you did yesterday or day before yesterday doesn't mean that your mind of today came from yesterday.
What if you never went to sleep?
걔 말해. 셀립 체면 계셔 말했어. 근데 전화 쇼케
Your mind continues whether you sleep or not.
야, 근데 전화 변화 들이 쇼케 그 셈다 gonda 셈 집발에 가거든요.
So let forget about yesterday. Let's think about just today. This morning's mind and now's my mind. At this morning when you woke up, and then the mind of the present time, Austin, is that same or not?
Yeah. Yeah.
Is that the same or has there been changes?
Oh, there's been changes, yeah, but it's the same mind.
Same chipoles in a Gyume.
그래 셈 받지발은 전화한테 셈도 온저 말래. 셈 지발한테 가래래.
So what do you mean by it's the same? If you say same mind, that it has not changed?
Well, your mind evolves, right? You learn things, and as you learn things, your mind changes.
아마 저랑 셈부 차셔야 되려고도 저랑 이제 셈부 차셔야 되려고마다 시단계 셈 사이도 되려고도 안 가서.
We're not talking about a partial mind, the part of the mind. We're talking about general mind.
Yeah.
제가 단어 쇼케 저랑 야랑게 셈데다 단지 셈지 저와 가는 로사です. 삼다다.
So there has been a change in the mind of this morning when you woke up and the mind of your present time.
So, Geshe, if we talk about the virus and we're trying to figure out the virus, and that's our mind. Yesterday, is it good to think that way? Like, just as an example?
No. We don't talk about virus. We just think about what your mind.
Okay, so let's say in my mind, I feel nervous about the virus, but
not this kind of mind.
No.
Just basic mind.
Basic.
You don't want to talk about particular mind, just basic mind.
General mind.
General mind.
Not anything specific.
Yeah, no,
not anything specific, yeah.
Because I remember that, I remember that's not like that.
Okay. Okay.
So we're talking about the stream of the mind, right? Stream of mind. So there's a stream of mind from this morning to now, but there has been a change in that mind.
Yes.
Can we change our mind with single pointed concentration to be aware of our moment, be aware of our mind? Therefore, we can change it and stop samsara.
Can
you say that again?
Oh, so if we have single pointed concentration in this moment, we're watching our mind is when we can change our delusion and our mind and stop samsara to reach enlightenment. So we're changing our mind with single pointed concentration.
Yes, we can change your mind in that way, but that's not what we're talking now.
Now
we're not talking about what is causing the change of our mind. What is causing our mind to change? We're not talking about that now. So right now, you have to understand what is mind. And that mind, where did it come from? That's what we're trying to check, and whether that mind has a beginning or not.
Okay. Yes, yeah.
Unless you think a lot about that, you will not be able to understand it easily.
Can you tell us where yesterday's mind came from, Geshe?
And Kenny가 말하는 그래서.
Yesterday's mind.
Okay, and then so
Yesterday's mind came from day before yesterday's mind.
all right, so then before that, so when we're born in the womb, where did that mind come from?
제왕감에 강사지 마 신이 되게 샘때 아니 다 저랑 아메 말 주선 거래서.
That from the previous life, a person who passed away and then whose mind or consciousness entered into your mother's womb.
Okay, so that wasn't me. That wasn't Austin. That was some other person, correct?
야야 대래 저랑 제왕감 말했다. 나 저랑 아스트도 말했어. 단다 아스트 저랑 막 보고 제와도 빨라마냐 on the mid Austin the 다시면 저랑 대가 미들에 저랑 법도 저랑 법차 되었어.
Yes, so that's the same continuum, but it's just a different name. You know, you were given the name Austin at that time, then you become Austin. But if you were given Bob by your parents, then you will be Bob now.
Right. So if that's the case, and my name is just a mere label, then was my mind the same mind as this mind right now prior to me being born from my mother?
집보다 멀어.
그래서
쌤 집보다 베스 보래.
쌤 집어 말 집어 뭐 대상하면 돼. 집어 라고 말다세.
Yeah. So no, definitely not the same mind.
So then, so our minds then are not continuous. If it's not the same mind, then it's not continuous.
대도 계속 쌤다 드링 쌤다 집어 말아.
It's still dependent on everything in the past.
나 당가도 지금 안 책임은 돼.
말 걸어 쌤 집어서 그러는 가서 쌤이 준다 쌤 집어 가 드링 쌤다 계속 쌤냐 집어 말아.
야 되는 것도 되는 것도 야 제가 가상도 쓸때 집어 말 군 기반으로 살아 봐.
Yeah, of course, that's not the same exact mind. You know, it cannot be same exact mind. So it's the same continuum of a mind, but not a same mind. So even like yesterday's mind and today's mind is not same mind. It's the same continuum of a mind, but it's not today's mind. You know, so like 30 years old Austin's mind is not same as 15 years old Austin's mind. You know, it's just that's a definitely different.
Perfect. I totally understand. I can thank you very much. That cleared it up.
Okay, who can more understand this one? Bob, Jennifer, yeah, Margaret, can you explain? Yeah, we can discuss
well, actually,
there.
Okay.
Yeah, okay, go ahead.
No, actually, I wanted to clarify whether, so we're talking about the continuum of mind is the mind of consciousness. So the mind of consciousness is from beginningless time, it continues. And I want to clarify, when I was meditating, one thought arose to me is that, you know, when I was trying to remember back, I can't even remember what some of the parts of yesterday and the day before. But I realize it as that is like a quality of my human nature now, that I cannot remember my past. So if I cannot even remember yesterday and the day before, how else? That's why I can't even remember my previous life, my life continuum before. I mean, I see it as that. I don't know whether that's correct to think that way. Yeah, at this point.
일단 뭐지 나다 가서 계산 가서 상마 가르가 제방 가서 상마 정말 알았어. 계산 맞은 거 잠길 때는 가서 계산 매번 찍기 말았어. 계산 가서 쌤 열었어. 아니 가서 두두 대단 들라더니 가서 쌤 되게 직삼 되어라. 이 삼르데 가서 쌤이 엄마 가서 드림 챙겨 말아. 이나다 드림 맞은 거 잠길 때는 또 계산 쌤도 여 말았어. 여 말 랍투 말았어. 이낭신 가서 근데 경험만 가서 챙겨 아마 디저는 내가 경험만 여 말았어. 딜 랍투 말했어. 딜 랍투 말. 딜랍투 말해. 네. 이나다 가서 쌤 세대다 쌤게 쌤도 규인기 다들 가가 샤고서 근데 하고 가 말.
쌤그 주나 가 하고 내 주. 쌤그 주나.
So you understand? Yeah, that's right. So Margaret, whatever you said, you know, that makes sense. Yes, everything we do, you know, we even in this life, you know, even in yesterday, you know, let alone this life, you know, long time ago. Even yesterday, what we did, everything we can't remember exactly.
Right, and it's because of our own our delusion. We don't have the clairvoyance, clear mind.
Yeah, exactly. And so that just because of that, we can't say that, oh, I didn't have that thought yesterday. You know, so just like that, you know, we can't remember the past life. So yeah, that makes totally sense. But what we're trying to do here is just understand about the mind. And in general, we say general mind, but what we're talking about is the continuation of the mind. The continuum, our continuum means like the mind, continuation of our mind. So that is there all the time. The continuation of the mind is there all the time. So today's mind and yesterday's mind, when you break it like that, then that's a different. That's like talking of the particular mind. But in general, the mind, the continuation of the mind is there all the time.
Okay, Mark, you have said? Yes, go ahead. Yeah.
What I'm here, yes, I agree that the mind is a conglomeration of everything we've experienced, everything in our past lives. What I think people are talking about is the brain and how the brain thinks about what's going on at the present time and how they're interpreting it. And the mind is a much bigger issue than our brain and the way that we think at this exact moment.
Yeah, this makes sense. 미간가 단어도 시게 들라고.
다 거라서는 다 샘딩어도 다 교환하면 여기 참 하고 오도잖아. 다 거란 가래 하고 그면서 단다 밑에서 가래 셔야 되는 단다 레버들이라고 그랬어. 레버딩어서 거의 샘지거려. 아, 네. 샘지는 단다 레버딩이 단다 가르쳐 디디 따다 하고 말 가서 단다 가르쳐 돼 하고 막.
Okay, good. Okay, Bob.
See, so if mind is clear and knowing, it knows things. It's not physical. So the brain is physical. And in the Western world, we often think that consciousness is created by the brain. But if we say the mind awareness is not physical, then the substance of mind cannot come from something physical. So the substantial cause of this moment of mind, that substance that transforms into the mind, must be also mind from a previous moment. And in the same way from the previous moment and the moment before. So it's the substance that transforming into the current moment of mind. There's a continuity of that substance, which is not physical, which goes all the way back before we were born, when the consciousness attached, when the mind attached itself to in the mother's womb.
It makes sense. Now, who like to add more? Jennifer, you want to say something?
I was just thinking, in terms of substantial cause, the substantial cause of mind must be mind. It can't be like Bob said, it isn't the physical, like in the same way that you can't get a peach tree from an apple seed. The substantial cause of mind is mind.
Okay, Mark and Asko, what do you think?
So I understand how the mind is clear and I completely understand that. It's not substantial, but then your mind and your consciousness also have to be able to have some sort of something that your karma can connect itself to for your next life, to be able to continue on and to be able to experience the effects of your past life and your past karma. So I think there's a confusion between mind and person. I think that would it be fair to say that when you die, it's ego death. It's ego death, and that the Austin Horn part dies, but my mind continuum, my mental continuum, along with the karma that I've created in my mind, continues on to the next birth.
Okay, guys, who going to give make more clear? Those we can talk about this more, then become more clear, not just one time.
그런 시에 되기는 하고서.
더 레드 되버려라.
그래, 나도 다 이제로 나도 레사도네 다 레기 다 바샤디 셈을 샤고라. 남시든도 샤, 남시든네 다 겨와 정말 풀는데 안에 바샤데 님도 두고라. 안데 바샤님도 도인데 바샤데네 다 게임다 텐데 그 세도고 나데네 그 되고 요거라.
Yeah.
That's
good. Yeah, that's good. That's what ask
what you said about that, the mind or the consciousness carrying the imprint of the action. So we create an action, bad or good. The imprint of that action is left on our consciousness, and that goes, with the consciousness, when it goes, to the next life, and then that consciousness, carrying those imprints of the good or bad karma, when that meets with the condition, then that ripens into a result. If it's the the bad imprint, then it meets with the result and the condition, and that ripens into a suffering. And if it's a good imprint, imprint of a good karma, then when it meets with the condition, it ripens into happiness. So yeah, that's true. That part is true. So that, yeah, it has to, for you to experience the result of the karma that you have created, you have to have the consciousness carrying that imprint, of those karma you have created this life.
So can we say?
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just want to so can we say, like, Austin, in this lifetime right now, you are Austin. This is Austin is the form of that mind consciousness in this lifetime. So depending on what you do this lifetime, maybe also plus your previous lifetime imprint, when you die, that consciousness is going to manifest into another form, depending on your karma. Maybe it's not a human form, it could be some other form, but it will into another form. But I don't get the ego part. Ego is that I don't get, Austin, but I think the Austin is the form of this of the consciousness of this lifetime, and then it's gonna become another form in the next lifetime, depending on your imprint. Is that correct to say?
You understand, Austin?
My point is that something does die when you die, and it's your ego. I believe it's the label Austin, and everything that goes along with it that dies.
If you have strong ego this lifetime, that's gonna carry on in your imprint to your next lifetime. So ego doesn't die. If you have the imprint.
Good. Yeah, go continue.
Yeah.
Well, ego is just a label. Ego is basically the skandhas, the five. Basically what we consider to be ourselves.
But also the tendencies, the tendencies and the habits and things that you actually identify with, and the stronger, the more likely they are, to carry forward.
Ego is caused by attachment, right? Attachment to some of your emotions. So it's not the form. Ego is not a form. Ego is an emotion, is a mind, it's imprint, it's caused by attachment or pride or those kind of negative emotions.
Yeah, I agree that we're all attached to certain things and we have attachment, but I don't know. There's something that has to die when you die. You don't just.
How about that?
I was reading Richard Dawkins, who's a Western philosopher. Have you guys read his books on the gene and how he talks about the meme? This was before the meme became popular on the internet,
What's the word mean?
M-E-M-E, which is
what means?
It's like an imprint that you leave behind. Richard Dawkins is the writer, Western scientist and philosopher.
Selfish Gene. I read that book. I didn't like it, but
not an internet meme. It's like something else, a different.
So ideas replicate. Like you spread your genes and to replicate yourself. And memes like his thought about consciousness. Ideas replicate like copycat. On the internet. But
like if you have it's same thing. I think is that you leave an imprint on the world just by existing.
나도 지도 있구나. 도도 라고도 마사바지. 내도 사망도 소화지래고 그래야 돼.
다행히 저런다 그런 거의 라이드 어스틴 라이드 서시자리 딜러 거기서는 나시기를 쓰거든. 나시기를 베스. 나 군도스는 나시기 말했어. 나데 누구랬어. 나데 다 겨우는 누구랬어.
나 실내나 갈라 그넥트 실내나 가르쳤어요.
나 그놈은 풍보 지어버렸어 그랬어. 풍보도 누구랬어. 나 남시대 못은 누구랬어. 어스틴라도 그 시스템은 나시기 그랬어. 그래서는 나도 시고 나도 일단 키는 누구랬어.
That's good discussion. 제가 나군에 제가 세능이 채워줘 나 신으로 되는 나 시고 말했어. 근데 단다 Austin 풀어왔어. 다 지기는 지모 안에 보모질려나? 아니 그 보문가처럼 Austin가 말어왔어.
So again, I think
세대가 치와치가 싫어 그랬어.
depends on how you see the ego, right? I don't know what is your connotation of ego, and Austin, when you say ego.
I think I'm using the wrong word. I don't think
exactly. That's what I was thinking.
I don't think ego is the right word that I'm trying. That I think I made a mistake when I said ego. I think.
Yeah. So ego, like ego is the I, right? I.
Yeah, it's like the Austin hornness.
Yes.
Well, your character.
It's not my ego. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah, no.
Exactly.
You're right.
저런 것은 나를 시기와 말해.
되게 치와치가 가시는 그랬어. 나 가시가 말했어.
So the ego of this life dies when you die, but the ego doesn't die.
Wow.
Your ego goes with you, but the ego of this life, saying like I Austin, the I Austin.
Yeah.
대신에 그랬어.
So that dies when you die.
이나 지나 강사세 나데 대신 그랬어.
But you Austin dies, but then your I, the person, that continues from life to life.
Like because I have to have my karma continue.
So the Austenness will still continue. Right? Austenness will still continue.
No, but
whatever.
It's not. You know what I mean? It's what Jangchub was saying. The I does die when you die.
Right.
And that's what I was.
So the I of this life dies.
Right, and that's what I was confused with.
That's what I think that's what you were trying to say. The I of this life.
Right, and that's what I was considering ego, but that's the wrong word.
But when the Margaret and Jennifer, they were talking about the ego, like the ego, the grasping at the self, the grasping at the self as existing from its own side, that kind of ego, that we have all the time, since the beginning of time, till we gain liberation or enlightenment.
Yeah. Now, I just want to add, with what you're saying, Austin, the Austenness, I see it as the essence that we recognize. So we are an essence, and then we have the thoughts of who we are. So once I start, on myself, start to recognize that my thoughts are not who I am, I start separating that ego. So I'm not attached to this present reality that I'm living. And that's how I can start understanding that there has to be something that came before and there is a continuation. So that's how I'm starting to unravel these philosophy. It's a lot to think about, because once I start thinking way back to my, my beginnings, I get stuck. But if I start thinking of myself as an essence, then I can start accepting or opening the door to something that's not tangible. Does that make sense? So once, start thinking of yourself as an essence and not as a being, solid being.
You don't
have to think that complicated.
Yeah, it's more complicated.
If you look for your essence, what is your essence?
Well, it's what I recognize as, I'm always, it's, I don't have a word for it, but I recognize myself.
Yeah, I understand. Anyway, okay, good.
Yeah.
That's good. Let's think about that a little bit, okay? 제가 소주고 삼모 간에 지금 거거든. 안에 빼자들 놓는 마로 왔다는데 마음이 삼마도 마시고 땅자 놓스. 마시고 뭐 세복을만 좀 마셨어. 전전 좀 마시고 대로 대단 대배 안에 람름 첨부 빼자 셴바로 안에 소주 삼모 땅다.
So anyway, so this is the main point is to think about the continuation of your mind, right? So where your mind came from, where there's no, beginning of the life. There's not how this is not the only life. We had a life before that, and because the consciousness came from there and there and there like that. So to prove that, right? So that way you can understand how all sentient being has been your mother. So this is all we have to understand. This is just to prove that, right? To understand that. And so anyway, so this is good. It's very good discussion. You've been thinking about all this, and that's good in a way to prove, how or ascertain your mind, how all sentient being has been your mother, And so just read about that again, on this part of the Lam-rim, the liberation of the palm of your hand. And if you have other texts like the great, Lam-rim by Lama Tsongkhapa, that text also, there's a translation available in English. And then other text also, which explains about, the mother of all sentient beings has been your mother, and recognizing all sentient beings as mother. So just read that part and then try to gain as much understanding as possible.
제가 남배가 아닌 개파들에 땅도 취재되네요. 고주고 간데시게 될라도 이제는 뒤답돼요. 그래서.
And then also there is a translation or maybe the commentary, written by the Western teachers, Western teachers, through their Western, way, and maybe that is easier for you to understand. So read those as well, if you can find that.
제가 맛이 주보는 셴바로면 전제도 투들반로면 맛이 주보대.
So now just focus on the recognizing all sentient beings as your mother only. Don't move, to the other causes, for general. Just focus on the recognition of all sentient beings as your mother. So yeah, there is, sometimes, just some different kind of wording, can make more understandable for us.
제가 당간도 때 중국의 대장샤한테 고 답도 고 다 이체당 고 간에 삼탄도 거다. 다 전도대 가요 말했어. 제가 배나야 지제원에 배나 지제미엠바치라 나출은 개발도 야쿠 대야 가로 답시 셴바지네 야 답되어지네 못 줘야 되지. 영용도 와.
Maybe different, wordings, different way of saying it, can make more understandable for you. For us, it's easy because we are used to that word, recognizing all sentient beings as your mother, all sentient beings as your mother. That's the word, only word we've been hearing, and we believed in that, and maybe without even understand, without even investigation on that, we just believe in that, and it makes sense to us, easy to understand. But for you, maybe it's difficult, to think that all sentient beings has been your mother, or recognizing all sentient beings as your mother. So there may be different wordings used by different Western teachers, which makes it easier for you to understand. Then it will be good, to look into those books also.
아니 레긴 입에 가라 다 개방같이 듣고 그랬어. 되게 틀리다는데도 남들 특히 실로치도 특히도 개와 온설렘 받던 중앙원들로도 다르다 특별해서.
And so in the monastery when we study about this valid cognition, a commentary on the valid cognition, so this is the second chapter of the valid cognition. There it talks about the establishment of the consciousness from life to life. So just like the word here says, when someone has been reborn, how absurd it would be for his breathing organs and mind to have developed from the body alone and not independent on things of their own classes. And so that's like not to depend on things of their own class, so like that. So how it depends on their own class means like it has to have the substantial cause of the mind can be only mind, cannot be a physical object like that. So this is how it's proven to say that mind came from mind, and mind has to come from somewhere, and it can't come from physical things, so it has to come from mind. So therefore, there has to have a previous mind and a previous mind and a previous mind like that. And so this is one way of proving, but there could be a different way, or different commentary or different explanation given by more learned Western masters or teachers. Then it will be easier for you to understand that way. Then you can read that also.
Okay. Like the Tibetan masters, they also most explain it the usual way. Then it doesn't understand easily. Maybe the Western Tibetan Buddhism scholars, they know Western mind, then Tibetan Buddhism way. Maybe they can put together. Then maybe easy to understand. Just only looking for the section. Then not you don't look at other ones. Okay, this is the homework. If you have some kind of 티콜랑아도 게시 약본이다는 주마도 뺏 주마강가 답되고 쇼요. 단데 깔래 가셔도 되시다.
So this one is most difficult to understand, recognizing all sentient beings one's mother, how they have been your mother. So that's the difficult part to understand. Well, so once you understand that, then thinking about their kindness, wishing to repay the kindness, that all comes very easily. And then, like in India before, what the argument, that came about, Buddhists and came between Buddhists and non-Buddhists, are all because of their previous lives.
Okay. 제당아도 기왕하시되 아니 여보 저기 소속 내전에 도와이나 아니 주만에 가리콜라 깨질 내가 가르쳐 놓고 곧 가고 다까지 딱 배우지 작으래.
So it's all based on the past and future lives, so the believing, the understanding of the past and future lives. So if you are able to understand the past and future lives, then whatever you do, will be, easier to carry on.
Okay, now we stop. It's already 2 o'clock, but we don't have to do it forever, right? You just jump off your desk. Okay, thank you. Now we stop, then we pray.
Okay, page 39, there's Thanksgiving model offering. Saji Puki Chuchi Metok Tram, Rebab Dingji Nida Gimpadi, Sange Jigdu Mikter Wagi, Drokun Namdak Jing Lacher Parshu, Jitsun Lame Kutse Raptenching, Nakatrin Nacho Churge Padang, Losan Ten Pedro Mesasumgi, Drowe Munsel Taktu Negur Chig, Idam Guru Ratnamandalakam Niriatayami. Page 43, the short long life prayer for His Holiness the Dalai Lama. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefit and joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezig remain in life till samsara's end. Page 49, the short long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You who uphold the subduer's mortal way, who serve as a bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the 3 jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please, please live long. Page 57, prayer of dedication. Through this virtue, may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may where unborn arise and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Page 75. Make me tse we te chen chen rezi, dream ken pe wang po jam pel yang, gang chen ke pe su gen Tsongkhapa, lo sang gra pe jab la sol wa de. Thank you,
everyone. Have a good day.
Geshe, thank you.
Thank you, Geshe. Bye, everyone. Thank you,
Thank
Jangchub.
you. Bye.
Thank you, Geshe. Thank you, Jangchub.
Thank you. Have a nice
Thank you,
day.
Geshe.